So in this world where we're using more sort of machine learning techniques and tools to, as I say, to stop it, because people cannot keep up with looking at these logs and doing all this kind of intrusion tech themselves. What does that mean for the role of a cybersecurity expert? What does that job look like when you have all these techniques in place?
I mean, it varies. I mean, even within cybersecurity, there's so many areas you can be in, and you can only be an expert in usually now, at least one. But so I mean, you could be the person who goes through code and you look through code bases and you forensically, reverse engineer software, and you look for the buffer overflow attacks, and you might also then concentrate on cloud computing again, security, which is increasingly important again. Look for the flaws there, and we're seeing these S3 buckets from Amazon now being compromised again. You might concentrate on Internet of Things. It might be in network security and fuzzing systems, again, your standard penetration testing. It could also be in cryptography and being able to analyze, again, and cloud crack passwords again. So network security within itself is a very large and diverse field. And some people love to concentrate on the code aspect, some people on the network profile, and some people just on the cryptography itself, which is huge. It depends on where your particular strengths lie and your interests lie. And again, so we'll always have people specialize in those areas again. And of course, increasingly, most of our systems are moving to the cloud. And of course, if anyone wants to get into security, it's always good to have a background in networks, because any system which is connected and which has got a flaw connected to it is connected to a network, really. As we say to her, you can say to people flippantly, if you want to be secure online, don't buy a computer. If you must buy a computer, only turn it on for 10 minutes. And if you do, you have to turn it on, because again, but what we see, even though, flip it there is a little bit of logic there that every network, every connected to a network, it is by that definition, just being connected, is vulnerable.
Right.
And also, the least amount of work you do on there, the less likely you are to be exposed to adware, to malware, to compromised websites, to third-party, compromised ads. And again, the less you do on a computer, the better, the more secure it will be, because the more sites you visit, the more torrents you download, the more files you execute, the more likely it is for some type of malware to get into your system. So again, who's going to do that really? Who's going to keep a computer in their corner that's really just dedicated to one or two tasks?
Right. Well, I actually sometimes will with my Raspberry Pi. I have a couple of Pis and I have a couple of disks, and for some of them, I don't use the wireless one, but if it's for some of them, I completely unplug it. I just pop in that image, I run that image, and then when it comes time to go back and do some other work, I'll just pop in a different SD card, and then I'll plug it into the Ethernet. So that's how I do it. Manage my paranoia for that particular thing. But getting aside from that, so you were talking there about find out your interests, find out your strengths, and so on. And so for somebody who wants to start that process and for getting involved, you said, you mentioned networking there. So would that be like a good sort of almost like pre-med, like a good pre-cybersecurity education, which is learn networks, and then from there you can work out where to go? Or would you recommend are there other sort of foundational things you might do if you're interested in cybersecurity?
Yeah, that is a core one. And of course, if you can code, and the more coding skills you have, the better it is. But definitely networking, because again, a lot of the jobs out there, a lot of the work out there really is in penetration testing and being able to show and expose networks and show where the flaws are. So, of course, learning about IP addressing and learning about subnets and just learning about ports and all the things that go into networks and how they're developed and how you, again, and the core tool for all networking people, geeks, is Wireshark, being able to analyze packets and to see how TCP works and the connections there, and HTTPS and the difference and the encryptions. But of course, coding as well is, again, but you'd be surprised how many hackers and penetration testers and really good in security, how many of them just get by in Python, which is a great one, because a lot of us just want a tool to do something, and we don't care about having to download a 500 megabyte, Android Studio or Eclipse or something like that, a heavyweight IDE. We just want to be able to script something to get it to go through 100 websites, scrape a little bit data, and Python is a wonderful tool. We adore Python for being able to script up simple things like that. But networking is really, just learning about networking 101, the whole the TCP, ISOs,
Right.
Just the stack, the network stack.
Right. So maybe try writing your own web server might be a good sort of exercise in terms of understanding the protocols. Like if you can get that bit done, it doesn't have to be very good, but if you can do that, that might sort of give you a sort of a good demonstration of the technologies that are involved.
It would, yeah, to whet people's appetite as well as to just on the Wireshark and to run it in Starbucks. The network, and then just a simple method request of http.request, and then you can pause it there to see the sites that a lot of people are, not all because obviously we have the wonderful padlock now in browsers, but you would be still amazed how much traffic and information you can get in your standard Starbucks by running an off-the-shelf tool like that, you know, which runs on any operating system that you can get. And it just really is, you know, just really wonderful what you can see. And a many young person that they realize that they can actually, wow, they can look into this world of people's traffic in a public space.
Great. Well, I think we're going to leave it there. I thank you so much. We were talking with Kevin Curran, Professor of Cybersecurity at Ulster University in Northern Ireland. And I'm Stephen Casfry, IEEE Spectrum. And I want to thank you so much for being here today. And that was just terrific. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you.